Now, government of Uganda, through the health ministry, has finalized a deal to import nearly 200 Cuban doctors in a move the government says will help supplement the lean doctors in Uganda. But this has not augured well with doctors who say government has shirked its responsibility in attracting and retaining health workers in the country. Joining me tonight is the president of Uganda Medical Association, Dr. Ekwaro Obuku. To the program.
Thank you very much, Sheila.
You held a press briefing earlier this week, and you were totally against this move. Why are you opposed?
Part of the reason is what I would like to mention first. For instance, intern doctors who are holding the fort of regional referral hospitals and other district referral hospitals, including private not-for-profit hospitals like Lacho, have not been paid for 2 months now. Are you seeing part of the problem? So where are we, which priorities are we addressing? How can you claim to feed the neighbor's child with meat when yours are on beans? That's number one. Number two is in the headlines of one of the dailies, where there is a story about the shortage of oxygen in the country. Ambulances are moving no different from any passenger service vehicle. They don't have oxygen. Drivers are being told that whenever you are transporting a casualty, a victim, you just open the window so that oxygen can enter. It is not concentrated enough. These are just two immediate examples. The first quarter of this year, we saw the blood shortage, isn't it? We saw the outbreak of Crimean Congo fever, and workers in Nakaseke were being exposed to this infection without personal protective equipment. So we really need to re-engineer our priorities.
All right, let's, devil's advocate here. Government has been saying that they're not bringing Cuban doctors to replace Ugandan doctors. They're only bringing them to supplement, and that should be a move that you as doctors would be welcoming, because, these are specialized. They're probably more specialized. I do not know, but that's what they claim. More specialized and are going to the hard-to-reach areas. Now,
let me give you the message, and for the benefit of the audience, from the doctors, the Ugandan doctors. They have rejected this policy. They are saying no to Cuban doctors. Why? Because they have alternative policy propositions. One, we have human capital. In the recent 3 years, from 4 universities, we have trained over 1,850 doctors. 350 of them are specialists. As I speak today, there is a program to train over 100 super specialists in India. That is the most recent program, and it's supported by State House to the tune of 10 billion. Doctors are going. They are coming back, hopefully, to take these positions in Mulago, which is restructuring itself to become a super specialized facility to even serve the Great Lakes region. There are existing programs I'm aware of. For example, just one of them, of the many, collaborations between McKay University and McMaster University in Canada. I visited that Ugandan doctor. It's called Professor Kagoma. He has trained some of whom are professors. Now he's a Ugandan there. Just in Nairobi here, we have capacity of Ugandan doctors who can come back. Instead of considering, let me finish. Instead of considering Cubans, we can think of attracting our human capital of Ugandans in the region. South Africa, the per capita of Ugandan doctor in South Africa is so high. We can bring them back. Zimbabwe, my uncle himself is a nephrologist. He has been there for over 20 years. I know they have a very big group, and they can come back. We have that capacity. So let's look internally instead of copying and pasting. But I would like to underscore that Cuba has a very, very robust health system. And it's actually better than the USA. The USA is actually wastage, $4,500 per capita. Cuba is much less. And actually Cuba earns about $8 billion a year from health exports. It's one of the greatest exports. And it has one of the greatest medical schools in Havana. Exactly. One of the biggest, I think. And now, they were very useful. My question to you, doctor, is that, I've been listening. My question to you is that we have Kenya, 6 days ago, signed a deal to also bring in Cuban doctors. Brazil has done the same. Most countries that even have a bigger GDP than ours are doing the same. Why should it be a concern? Shame on those countries. A country of 11 million people cannot export doctors to a country of over 100 million in Brazil, to a country over 40 million. This is an indictment to the planning ability and investment in human capital.
Some people have also been saying that your demands as doctors are far-fetched. You want per dose, you want, on top of all the other good things that you're talking about, instead of really advancing retention, for instance, good allowances for the hard-to-reach doctors, that you're instead advancing things that really benefit just you as individuals.
Let me demolish that argument. Interns are paid $200 a month. Why don't they satisfy that small 200, which is supposed to be there anyway, the standard they have said they are going to pay? You think that money is not there? It is about prioritization and political commitment. The way his head of state has committed himself to solve two problems that I'm aware of: electricity and roads. If he did that for health, we would move very far. Yeah.
What would you do what will you do if government goes ahead and brings in this doctor?
Then we will require that they follow the public service standing orders. They should advertise. Ugandans should compete under the policy of buy Ugandan labor and build Ugandan labor, because we have it. All right. Then they should be accredited by the Uganda Medical and Dental Practitioners Council. They should be governed by that act of 1998. If a Cuban doctor commits a professional misconduct, what happens? Under which laws? Okay? Then they should go through the exam.
We have
like every other Ugandan who trains internationally, comes back and does the medical licensing examination board. Okay? Then we are saying they should be paid the same conditions of being transferred without transport, working without blood and oxygen. Okay? So, under these circumstances, we are yet to see what magic they are going to bring. However, if they are going to support the medical schools, because now we have grown from Makerere to Mbarara to KIU to Zambia to now 9 medical schools with the same pool of especially basic scientists, those who teach physiology, anatomy, these basic sciences to build the foundation of medical knowledge. We have scarcity there. They are welcome to come and build in training. So specific, tailored where we have failed. Otherwise, we are actually challenging government to advertise and let us doctors see whether we can fill those positions under the $3,000 per doctor per month.
But even the country's biggest referral hospital has vacancies there.
Yes, but they are not being advertised. There has been a moratorium, a ban on advertising and filling up those positions, which is a contradiction, because now you are saying you can import 200 en masse, but the locals who are paying the taxes cannot benefit. Where is this money going to go? Abroad. Capital flight or foreign exchange flight, whatever it is, to a country. It's a shame to a country which is producing sugar. Even if government says going to pay them in oil, even as doctors, we are not allergic to shares in that national oil company. They can pay us in those shares or pay us in terms of oil. How best do you think, of
course you've been talking about this, but just for the benefit of the viewers, how best do you think government can attract and bring back most of our doctors that have left this country as a result of brain drain?
One, obviously those ones, the conditions in which they are working, because I've visited some of them, it may be difficult to say that you will attract them, you have the money. It won't be money. It will be issues to do with housing, respect, and giving them contracts which enable them to come and work here for some time to build capacity as they retain their jobs there. But the key thing, I think, is to even attract. We have trained over 1,800 doctors. Yeah, 350 of them are specialists. 1,500 are just new graduates. But do you know the immediate gap now is less than the pool that we have in the public sector? We have a gap of 1,100. We have trained many more than that. And if government is serious, it would first absorb those ones, attract these ones. They have mentioned some figures which are a reasonable start. The president has said the doctor should start at 5 million. They have talked about 3 million, which is reasonable. We can have a plan. As this oil is coming in, we see also how we are fitting into this mix. Okay?
Everyone wants the oil.
No, it is for everybody. Okay? So, once with these new terms, we envisage more doctors will be attracted to go to the hard-to-reach areas. Let's have a distinction between the one who stays in Kampala and the one who goes abroad. They did it and it worked.
Okay.
For health center force, 2.5. Okay, they added 1.5 for hardship allowance, and even doctors left Mbarara Hospital, for example, to go to the rural area.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ekwaro Obuku. My time is fast spent. We could speak and speak and speak, but thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
giving us your input about the importation of Cuban doctors.
Thank you.
You.